It all started as a way to make a quick buck. I never thought I'd find myself in Haiti, caught up with a gang that would be my undoing. I was often eager to take on new adventures as far as getting money. The job was simple enough on paper, to pick up a package and bring it back to Miami. I'm no stranger to delivering my drugs to new and foreign places, but this was Haiti, one of the most dangerous countries to visit at the time, but the payout was too tempting to pass up. My contact, a guy named Raymond, assured me it was a one-time thing. Easy money, he said, but I knew better. The guy he's known to do business with is a well-known gang leader known for being merciless if you were deemed his enemy. Very powerful man around his area, Lou Jean-Baptiste, known as simply 509. I was told to meet up with a contact and they'll get you across the border. And so I did. We met up in Dominican Republic, and after probably 1 hour or better of walking, we meet up with a second person who took us on into the border. There we met another who was waiting with a small plane shortly after we took off. I landed in Port-au-Prince and felt the oppressive heat immediately. Raymond had given me an address in a rundown part of the city. As I navigated through the narrow streets, a sense of unease crept over me, but I pushed it aside. I needed this money. Many of the locals are looking me up and down. Certain signals are being given to let everyone know an unfamiliar face is among us. No matter I move on with my business, the address led me to a dilapidated building with a tin roof. I knocked on the door and waited, glancing around nervously. After a moment, the door creaked open, and a man with a scar running down his cheek peered out. "You Davis?" he asked in a thick accent. "Yeah," I replied. "I must let them know I'm not intimidated." He opened the door wider and motioned for me to come in. The interior was dimly lit, and the air smelled of sweat and decay. 2 more men were inside, their eyes following my every move. On a table in the center of the room was a small, tightly wrapped package. "Here's the stuff," 509 said, pushing the package toward me. "Make sure it gets to Miami." I nodded and picked it up, feeling its weight. It was lighter than I expected. Thinking quickly to myself, I'll say to them, "This is a little light." The guys respond, "That is all. That's everything they said." I was called and told just before I arrived I was to pick up a certain amount, and I intend to leave with that. If not, we will take our business elsewhere. They speak in Creole amongst themselves for a bit, and the leader says to me, "How much more are you looking for? Why didn't anyone say anything to us about it?" I don't know what the miscommunication was, but these are my orders, so he sends someone to the back to retrieve more of the product. He hands it to me. I look up and say thanks. That's more like it. Then I turn to leave. Everyone is now giving me a death stare. I walk out and back onto the path I came. With a grin, I know that I just played them out of twice as much as I was owed. With the money I make off this, I'll have more than enough to go into business for myself. All of a sudden, I hear the sound of many people running, yelling, "Find him! Kill him!" They're on to me. Must get out of this place and reach my contacts. As the footsteps become louder, one member catches up to me. "It's on now. There's no talking this out." Punch him with everything I have, and he goes down. I keep going, and 2 more come armed with machetes. One tries to swing and misses, and his weapon gets lodged on the side of the house. I take advantage of the moment and hit the gang member across the face. I stun him, and I take the machete and make good use of it. Slash, slash, slash. 3 slashes to his chest, and he's done. The other one tries to attack from behind, but I saw him coming. As he swings, I quickly dodge and instantly come down with the blade, severing his forearm. He yells in pain, and I quickly silence him forever. I continue on realizing this will not be easy, and the chances are I won't make it out. I follow along the trail, struggling to remember the path I took before, after reaching the outskirts of town. Now in range of service, I get on the phone and call my pilot contact. He answers, and I tell him to meet me at location. I'm going to get a vehicle and meet him there. He replies, "I'll be there and hangs up. Now, I just need to find a vehicle. I forget that I'm in Haiti. Easier said than done. This terrain can be unforgiving, and it's not like it's an abundance of vehicles around. Either way, I must find something. I travel on as cloaked as I can be. Armed with only the machete I took from the gang members after a few miles, I come across a small vehicle I was sure wouldn't stay together long enough to get to the destination. But I don't have any other options. I quickly run to the driver, put my weapon to his face, and force him out of the vehicle. He gives it up without much resistance. I take off. Finally, I can somewhat relax. I'm almost out of here after miles of driving. I see the plane in the distance, and it appears to be running. A feeling of joy courses through my body. I reach the plane, and so I exit the car and I yell out to the pilot, but I hear nothing in return. I walk closer, still yelling until I stumble behind a bush, and I notice the pilot. Damn, he's dead. Laying before me a mutilated corpse of what was once an associate. And then out from the bushes walks 509 and other gangsters. He says, "Hey, my friend, were you planning on leaving so soon? I was just starting to like you." "Well, we can't let you leave just yet," he says with a grin. Before I could react, a cloth was pressed over my mouth and nose. I struggled, but the chloroform worked quickly. Darkness swallowed me. When I came to, I was in a small, windowless room. My hands were tied behind my back and my head throbbed. Panic surged through me as I realized the gravity of my situation. The door opened, and 509 walked in, followed by the other two men. "You're in trouble, Davis," 509 said, squatting down to my level. "You think you can just come here and take our stuff without consequences?" "I was just doing a job," I protested, my voice heavy. "Raymond sent me." 509 boy laughed, a cold, mirthless sound. "Raymond is a dead man walking. You, on the other hand, you're already dead." I felt a chill run down my spine. I had walked right into a trap. These men never intended for me to leave Haiti alive. The days that followed were a blur of beatings and interrogations. They wanted information I didn't have. Every time I told them the truth, that I was just a middleman, they hit me harder. The hope of escape or rescue faded with each passing hour. They would beat me with boards breaking my toes, pulling out my fingernails, and even a few teeth. One night, they dragged me out of the room and into a courtyard. The moon cast a pale light over the scene. I was forced to my knees, and I knew this was the end. Holy 509 stood before me, a pistol in his hand. "This is what happens to those who think they can get over on us," he said, raising the gun. I closed my eyes, thinking of the life I had thrown away for a quick score. Regret washed over me, but it was too late. The last sound I heard was the click of the gun, and then a deafening bang. As darkness enveloped me for the final time, I realized how far desperation had led me astray. In the end, my choices had caught up with me, and there was no escape from the fate I had set for myself.
Ou ba premier qui essaie, ou c'est juste une nan yo qui tombe. Te gen pile avant. Ak an pile l'autre qui gen pour le vini. C'est gen qui ose permettre yo vin rancer avec moi soit gang moi. Histoire a fini même jan avec. Apprendre ça.
Follow for more spine-tingling content. Drop a like to show your fear-loving spirit, and share the frights with friends.